Helena Blavatsky, the great spiritual master who unveiled the mysteries of the soul, always taught that there exists a specific reason why certain people feel an inexplicable emptiness, even when everything seems to be going well in their lives. Today you're going to discover that this emptiness is actually your soul trying to remind you of the sacred contract that you yourself made before being born. Millions of people walk through life feeling that there's something greater waiting for them, a special mission they can't identify. If you're one of those people who has always felt different, as if you didn't completely belong to this world, who has strange dreams, powerful intuitions, or synchronicities that seem like direct messages from the universe, know that your soul is trying to awaken you to the most important truth of your existence. Helena Blavatsky revealed in her secret teachings that each soul carefully chooses its earthly journey before incarnating. You literally sat at a table of light, surrounded by beings of infinite wisdom, and planned every detail of your current life, your family, your challenges, your natural abilities, the people who would cross your path, and most importantly, the specific mission you would come to fulfill in this incarnation. What happens is that at the moment of birth, a sacred veil of forgetfulness covers your consciousness. This is not a cosmic error, it's intentional. If you remembered everything from childhood, where would the growth be? Where would free will be? Helena Blavatsky explained that forgetfulness is a gift that allows your choices to be authentic and your growth to be genuine. But here's the secret that few know. Although the veil covers your conscious memories, it doesn't completely erase the information from your contract. This information is stored in your subconscious, in your intuition, in your deepest instincts. It manifests through sensations, impulses, dreams, and that inner voice that whispers directions when you're willing to listen. Today you're going to learn to identify the 10 unmistakable signs that your soul is constantly sending to remind you of your mission. You're going to discover how to decode the patterns that repeat in your life, how to access memories of your contract through specific techniques that Helena Blavatsky mastered, and most importantly, how to use this information to live with absolute purpose and total alignment. Because the truth is this: you didn't forget by accident. You forgot so that you could remember in a much more powerful way. Your soul never stopped talking to you. It constantly whispers, sends signals through channels that your rational mind often ignores or dismisses as coincidence. But coincidences don't exist in the spiritual universe. There are only synchronicities, messages disguised as chance, and the time for you to awaken completely is now. Your soul is ready to reveal the secrets it chose to keep until this exact moment of your journey. The first sign you need to recognize are the constant synchronicities that happen in your life. Helena Blavatsky always taught that the universe speaks through impossible coincidences, and when you start paying attention, you notice they happen much more than would be statistically normal. Think about those moments when you're thinking about someone and that person calls you 5 minutes later. Or when you're facing a dilemma and suddenly hear exactly the answer you needed in a conversation between strangers in the elevator. When you see the same number repeatedly for weeks. Or when books, movies, and random conversations start sharing a common theme that speaks directly to your current situation. These are not random occurrences. They're your soul shouting, "Look, pay attention, this is the direction." Helena Blavatsky explained that the more spiritually evolved a person is, the more synchronicities they experience, because their soul has more facility to orchestrate events in the physical plane. If you're someone who has always noticed these strange coincidences, who has always felt that the universe was trying to tell you something, this is clear evidence that you have a very specific and important soul contract. Ordinary people, who are just following automatic routines, rarely experience remarkable synchronicities. The way you react to these synchronicities also reveals aspects of your contract. If you get excited and feel a deep connection when they happen, your soul is confirming that you're on the right path. If you ignore them or rationalize them, your soul intensifies the signs until you can no longer ignore them. Helena Blavatsky advised her disciples to keep a synchronicity journal. Write down every strange coincidence, every repeating number, every unexpected encounter. Over time, you'll see patterns forming, clear messages emerging from what seem to be just chance. But there's something even deeper happening when you experience constant synchronicities. Your soul is testing your ability to recognize spiritual language. It's checking if you're ready to receive more direct information about your mission. Now, I want you to do something important with me. Comment from which city you're watching, because I need to know how far this ancestral wisdom of Helena Blavatsky is reaching. Every person who awakens to their soul contract creates energetic waves that help others awaken too, and it's fascinating to see this network of light spreading throughout the world. And if you found the synchronicities impressive, what I'm going to reveal about your dreams will leave you completely surprised with the way your soul communicates with you. The second fundamental sign are the recurring dreams and nighttime visions that carry deep messages about your mission. Helena Blavatsky discovered that during sleep, when the rational mind is turned off, our soul has direct access to consciousness and can show us fragments of our original contract. If you have dreams that repeat constantly, pay absolute attention. Repeatedly dreaming that you're flying can mean that your soul chose to break limitations and show new possibilities to other people. Frequently dreaming that you're teaching or healing others can be a direct echo of your greater purpose. But it's not just the obvious dreams that carry messages. Sometimes your soul uses symbols that seem strange but carry deep meanings. Dreaming about water can indicate that you came to work with emotional healing. Dreaming about fire can reveal that your mission involves transformation and purification. Dreaming about specific animals can show spiritual qualities you need to develop. Helena Blavatsky taught that there are 3 types of dreams related to soul contracts. Memory dreams, where you literally relive moments of planning your current life. Guidance dreams, where you receive specific direction about important decisions. And preparation dreams, where your soul prepares you for important future events. A particular characteristic of dreams linked to contracts is that they leave a lasting impression. You wake up knowing that was different, more real than a common dream. Often you can remember them in detail years later, as if they were engraved in your memory. People with important soul contracts also experience something that Helena Blavatsky called waking visions. These are moments when you're awake, but receive images, sensations, or knowledge that didn't come from your 5 physical senses, as if someone were whispering information directly into your consciousness. If you're someone who has always had vivid and strange dreams, who woke up feeling like you had received an important message, who has had dreams that later came true in some way in real life, your soul is using the dream state as a private classroom. The most powerful way to work with these dreams is to ask for specific guidance before sleeping. Helena Blavatsky taught her disciples to place their hands on their heart before falling asleep and mentally ask, "Show me what I need to know about my mission." Then they paid total attention to the dreams that came. And there's something even more extraordinary that your soul does during the day that will impress you deeply. The third sign are the intense and disproportionate emotional reactions you have in certain situations. Helena Blavatsky taught that when your soul recognizes elements of your contract, it reacts much more intensely than would be normal for the situation. Have you ever felt deep sadness when seeing an injustice, even a small one, as if it hurt your soul? Or inexplicable joy when helping other people far beyond normal satisfaction? These extreme emotional reactions are your soul recognizing central aspects of your mission. If you feel genuine revolt when you see people wasting their talents, your soul may have come to awaken human potential. If you're deeply moved when you see children or animals suffering, it may be that your contract involves protection and care of the most vulnerable. If unnecessary conflicts make you physically ill, perhaps you came to be a mediator and peace builder. Helena Blavatsky explained that these intense reactions are not defects in your personality. They are intentional characteristics that your soul chose to guide you in the right direction. Emotional intensity functions as a spiritual compass, pointing to where you should direct your energy and attention. A fascinating thing that happens with people who have specific contracts is that they also experience what Helena Blavatsky called instant recognition. You meet a person for the first time but feel inexplicable familiarity as if it were a reunion, or you enter a place and have a strange sensation of having been there before. These recognitions are not imagination. They're your soul identifying other souls with whom you made specific agreements or places that are important to your mission. Helena Blavatsky said that the more you honor these recognitions, the easier it becomes for your soul to orchestrate the encounters and situations you need. Your emotions also function as an alert system. When you're following a path that's not aligned with your contract, you feel restlessness, anxiety, a sensation that something isn't right. When you're aligned with your mission, you feel peace, energy, a sensation that you're in the right place doing the right thing. If you're a person who has always been considered too sensitive or too intense emotionally, understand that this is not a problem. It's a characteristic your soul chose to be able to navigate with precision in this life. Your sensitivity is an instrument of spiritual precision. Helena Blavatsky advised, "Stop trying to diminish your emotional intensity. Instead, learn to use it as a guidance tool. Your emotions are messengers from your soul." But there's an even more revealing aspect about how your soul communicates that will show you exactly what your unique specialty is. The fourth sign are the inexplicable natural talents you possess, abilities that no one taught you but that you always knew how to do. Helena Blavatsky revealed that these are not random genetic gifts. They are spiritual tools that your soul brought from other experiences and refined specifically for your current mission. Think about the things you've always done well, even without formal training. Maybe you can naturally calm nervous people, or you have facility organizing groups and leading projects without ever having studied leadership. It could be that you instinctively understand others' emotions, or you always know the right words to console someone. These natural talents are soul marks, spiritual fingerprints that your expanded consciousness left on your earthly personality. Helena Blavatsky explained that each life we live develops certain abilities, and our soul chooses which of these abilities to bring to the current incarnation based on the specific mission it intends to fulfill. But there's something very important here. Your talents often come disguised as characteristics that you or others might see as defects. Are you too stubborn? That determination might be exactly what the world needs in someone who will defend important causes. Do you talk too much? Maybe your mission is to be a voice for truths that others can't express. Helena Blavatsky said, "What the world calls a defect, the spirit may call a specialized tool." If you've always been criticized for being too sensitive, too questioning, too different, consider the possibility that these characteristics are exactly the qualities your soul needed to fulfill its unique purpose. Also, observe what gives you energy instead of draining it. You might work 8 hours in an office and come home exhausted, but spend 4 hours helping a friend and feel energized. This happens because the second activity is aligned with your natural gifts, while the first might be going against them. Your talents also reveal themselves through the compliments you consistently receive. Not the polite compliments people make out of courtesy, but the spontaneous comments they make when you really impact their lives. You always know what to say. You have a special way of explaining things. You make me feel understood. A powerful way to identify your gifts is to observe what people constantly come to you for help with. If they always seek you to talk about relationships, you may have natural gifts for emotional counseling. If they ask you to organize events or solve practical problems, you may have gifts for administration and coordination. Helena Blavatsky taught that our talents are not just for our own benefit. They are tools that our soul brought to contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. When you use your gifts in service to others, you're fulfilling a fundamental part of your soul contract. And now we come to something that will completely change your perspective about the challenges in your life. The fifth sign are the patterns that constantly repeat in your life, regardless of external circumstances. Helena Blavatsky taught that these patterns are not coincidences or bad luck. They are specific experiences that your soul chose to develop particular spiritual qualities. Observe the relationships you attract. Do you always meet people who need help? Do you always encounter the same types of conflicts? Do you always assume the same role, whether the savior, the mediator, the rebel? These patterns reveal central aspects of your soul contract. If you always attract people who need support, your soul may have chosen to develop compassion and healing abilities. If you constantly face situations where you need to defend others, perhaps your mission involves being a warrior of light, someone who protects and fights for justice. Helena Blavatsky revealed something fascinating. Not all patterns are positive on the surface. Some are recurring challenges that your soul chose to face. Do you always struggle with self-esteem? Always face financial difficulties? Always feel misunderstood? These are not punishments. They are growth opportunities that you yourself planned. Think of it this way. Your soul is like an athlete in training. It doesn't choose easy exercises. It chooses exactly the challenges that will develop the spiritual muscles it needs to strengthen. If you constantly face situations that test your patience, it's because your soul wants to master that virtue. Family patterns are particularly important. Do you always assume the role of the responsible one in the family? Are you always the rebel, the one who keeps everyone together? Your family is literally the first school your soul chose, and the role you play there reveals much about what you came to learn and teach. Helena Blavatsky explained that even health patterns carry messages. Recurring throat problems can indicate that truths need to be expressed. Constant back pain can reveal that you're carrying responsibilities that aren't yours. Recurring digestive problems can mean that your soul is learning what to accept and what to reject in life. Even timing patterns are significant. Do you always arrive late or always very early? Do things always happen at the last minute, or do you always over-prepare? These patterns reveal how your soul relates to time and control. The key is to observe these patterns without judgment. It's not about right or wrong, it's about understanding. Each pattern is a gateway to understanding aspects of your soul contract. When you recognize a pattern, ask, what is this repetitive experience trying to teach me? Helena Blavatsky said, you are not a victim of your patterns. You are the architect of them. Your soul created each one with a specific purpose. When you understand this, patterns stop being problems and become opportunities for awakening. And there's a specific technique that Helena Blavatsky used to directly access information from the original contract. The sixth sign is the natural ability you have to access information through intuition and deep meditation. Helena Blavatsky mastered specific techniques to connect with expanded consciousness and access memories of the original contract. And if you feel you have facility for meditative states or intense intuitive experiences, this indicates that your soul maintains an open channel with higher dimensions. Regressive meditation is one of the most powerful tools to access direct information about your soul contract. Helena Blavatsky taught that these memories have always been within you, stored in the deepest layers of your consciousness, waiting for you to create the right conditions to access them. To practice this technique, you need an environment where you won't be interrupted for at least 30 minutes. Lie down comfortably, close your eyes and begin with deep breathing. Inhale, counting to 4, hold for 4, exhale, counting to 4. Do this at least 10 times, letting your body relax completely with each exhalation. Visualize a golden light surrounding your entire body. This light is the protection of your own higher soul. Feel it penetrating every cell, every organ, every thought. You are creating a safe, energetic field for this inner journey. With your body relaxed and protected, begin to imagine yourself descending a golden spiral staircase. Each step you descend takes you deeper into your consciousness. Continue until you reach what looks like a peaceful valley, illuminated by a soft and welcoming light. In this valley, you will find a being of light that represents your higher soul, your own expanded consciousness. It may appear as a human figure, as pure light, or simply as a presence you can feel. Don't force anything. Let it manifest naturally. This being of light is you, but in a much broader state of consciousness. It's the part of you that participated in planning your soul contract. Greet it with love and respect. Mentally say, I came here to remember. I am ready to receive the information I need now. Ask your specific questions. Why did I choose this family? What is my main mission in this life? What lessons did I come to learn? How can I best serve my purpose? Ask one question at a time and wait. The answers may come as images, sensations, words that arise in your mind, or simply as knowledge you suddenly possess. Helena Blavatsky advised, don't force anything. If the answer doesn't come immediately, don't worry. Your soul may be preparing you to receive the information in other ways in the coming days. The important thing is to establish this conscious connection. When you feel the session is complete, thank your higher soul and begin to climb the golden staircase back to normal consciousness. Climb slowly, step by step, bringing with you all the information you received. As soon as you open your eyes, write down everything you remember, and what you discover through this technique will connect perfectly with something that Helena Blavatsky considered the clearest evidence of a special contract. The seventh sign are the deep and inexplicable fears you carry, because Helena Blavatsky revealed that often what we fear most is directly related to what we came to do. Your fears are not random obstacles, they are portals to discover crucial aspects of your mission. Fear of public speaking may indicate that your soul chose to be a voice that inspires multitudes. Fear of not being loved may signal that your mission involves teaching about unconditional love. Fear of failure may reveal that you came to show that it's possible to get up and start over as many times as necessary. Helena Blavatsky explained that our soul strategically chooses specific fears because they force us to develop exactly the qualities we need for our mission. It's as if it placed intentional obstacles in our path to force us to discover strengths we didn't even know we had. If you've always had an inexplicable fear of water, you may have had past experiences related to drowning, but it can also indicate that in this life you came to work with emotional healing, since water symbolizes emotions. If you have a terror of heights, you may have experienced fatal falls, but it can also mean that your current mission involves keeping your feet on the ground and helping others stabilize. The interesting thing is that when you face your deepest fears in the name of your mission, something magical happens. You don't just overcome the fear, you transform it into a powerful force. The person who was terrified of public speaking becomes an inspiring speaker. Those who feared not being loved become healers of broken hearts. Helena Blavatsky said, "Your fears are disguised maps. They point exactly to where your soul needs you to go. Therefore, instead of running from your fears, start asking yourself, what is this fear trying to teach me? How can I transform this energy into service?" There's also the phenomenon of fears that arise when you're approaching your purpose. The closer you get to living your authentic mission, the more intense the fears can become. This is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're on the right path and your soul is testing your commitment. If you're someone who has decided to transform your fears into action, I want you to leave a heart in the comments. It's important for our community to see how many brave people are deciding to face their fears to fulfill their mission. Your courage inspires others to do the same. Often the fears we carry are also connected to past life traumas that influence our current mission. If you have a phobia of fire, you may have died burned in a previous life, but it can also indicate that in this life, you came to work with transformation and purification. If you're afraid of crowds, you may have been persecuted by groups. But it may also mean that now you came to teach about individuality and authenticity. Helena Blavatsky revealed that the more evolved a soul, the more complex challenges it chooses. So if you carry intense and deep fears, this may be evidence that you have a very important mission and that your soul trusts in your capacity for overcoming. And now I'm going to reveal something that will connect all these signs in a way you never imagined. The 8th sign are the specific people who appear in your life at crucial moments and create profound transformations. Helena Blavatsky taught that no one enters your life by chance, especially those who cause significant changes, whether they are challenging or inspiring. Every important person in your journey is a soul with whom you made specific agreements before being born. Some contracts are for mutual support, others for challenge and growth. Some for healing old patterns, others to co-create something greater. And when you understand this, your perspective on relationships changes completely. The people who irritate you most, who seem to know exactly how to push your buttons, are often souls who agreed to be mirrors of aspects of yourself that need to be worked on. They're not there to hurt you. They're fulfilling a role you yourself requested. Your soul knew it needed to develop patience, courage, strength, or some other quality, and these people agreed to be the resistance against which you would exercise those spiritual muscles. On the other hand, those people who arrive exactly when you need them most, who offer the right word at the right time, who open unexpected doors, are your support souls. They agreed to be your earthly angels, offering help, wisdom, or opportunities at the perfect time. Helena Blavatsky revealed something fascinating about familiar souls, people with whom you've had multiple lives and relationships. With these souls, there's frequently immediate familiarity, a sensation of we've met before because you really have met before. These souls often make long-term contracts to meet life after life, working on specific issues or supporting mutual evolution. An interesting phenomenon is that familiar souls sometimes switch roles. Someone who was your father in a previous life may be your child in this one. A former spouse may become a sibling. An old enemy may now be your greatest ally. This happens because souls want to experience all angles of a relationship, completely understanding the dynamics they're working on together. If you have intense relationships, whether of deep love or challenging conflict, this indicates that you and these people have important contracts. The intensity exists because there's deep recognition between you, but intense doesn't necessarily mean easy. Often, souls meet to work on complex issues that require brutal honesty and accelerated growth. Helena Blavatsky said, "Observe who awakens your most intense reactions, whether deep love or extreme irritation. These people are there for very specific reasons." The children in your life also always represent soul contracts with specific missions. They didn't choose you just to have a family. They chose you because you can teach something they need to learn, or because they have something to teach you. When you understand that the important people in your life are spiritual partners in your evolutionary journey, your relationships become much richer and more meaningful. You stop taking things so personally and begin to see the bigger picture of the cosmic dance of which you're all part. And now we come to the most important moment, where everything you've discovered transforms into a new way of living. Now you possess the master keys that Helena Blavatsky kept in her most secret teachings. You've learned to recognize the synchronicities your soul orchestrates, to decode dreams that carry divine guidance, to interpret your emotional reactions as a spiritual compass, to honor your natural talents as sacred tools, to understand your life patterns as chosen lessons, to access memories of your contract through meditation, to transform your fears into portals of power, and to recognize important people as soul partners in your evolutionary journey. But knowledge without application is just sterile information. Helena Blavatsky always emphasized that awakening to your soul contract is just the first step. The real work begins when you decide to consciously live your mission, when you stop being just a spectator of your life and become the conscious director of your earthly experience. Starting today, you are no longer someone who wanders without purpose. You are an awakened being who knows exactly why you're here. You understand that your differences are not defects, they are specialties. Your sensitivities are not weaknesses, they are instruments of spiritual precision. Your challenges are not punishments, they are opportunities for mastery. When you completely embrace your soul contract, something magical happens. The universe conspires in your favor because you're finally aligned with the original plan. Opportunities appear, the right people cross your path, resources materialize. It's as if an invisible force were helping you fulfill your mission. But remember, your contract is not a prison, it's a map that you yourself drew. You have complete freedom to go beyond, to exceed your own expectations, to grow in ways that not even your pre-incarnated soul could imagine. The contract is a starting point, not a limit. Helena Blavatsky revealed that when a person completely awakens to their purpose, they become a beacon that helps other souls awaken too. Your personal transformation creates energetic waves that elevate collective consciousness. You're not just fulfilling your individual mission, you're contributing to the spiritual evolution of all humanity. That's why I want you to do 3 important things now. First, leave a comment telling which of the 8 signs impacted you most and why. Second, share this knowledge with someone you feel is also seeking their purpose. Third, subscribe to receive more secret teachings from Helena Blavatsky that can transform your spiritual journey. You didn't get here by chance. Your soul orchestrated this encounter because it was time for you to remember. It was time for you to awaken. It was time for you to take your place as a conscious being, fulfilling a sacred mission on this planet. The world needs your unique light. The world needs your special gifts. The world needs the contribution that only you can give. Your soul didn't forget your mission. It was just waiting for you to be ready to remember. Welcome back to your purpose. Welcome back to your mission. Welcome back to who you really are.